And we're live. Hi. Hello, weirdos. Yeah, I'm back. Me and Porphyrion are back, and this is where we left off last time. Skin is just a zenithal undercoat, so we haven't done anything of that yet. But we have trousers all finished. We got this axe that I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. We painted the bandages and a bunch of medals. Painted the leather belt as well. And like, we're doing striped pants, but I've done like half of them. I think maybe we'll paint the skin and then see how we can balance the the other stripes to the rest. And here is Porphyrion's head, our mask. Actually got 3 faces on it that get progressively more angry towards the bottom. And I think it looks pretty cool. I think I'm gonna have to do some touch-ups on the faces because they're a little rough in places, but we can do that later. And then we gotta paint the wood behind there. Thank you, Playword. Playword is, as usual, Kim, supporting us, streamers. Thanks a lot. And hi, Pinselklexer. How are you doing? Fabulous nickname. Nice seeing you back. Yeah, we're gonna try to do this miniature's skin and bulging muscles justice. I find that it can be a little bit daunting to paint like a miniature with lots of exposed muscle like this, or exposed muscle, exposed skin, muscular skin. God, words, bodies, you know what I mean. Like, there are lots of very different organic shapes here that we need to figure out how to highlight and shade. So that can be a bit daunting. But we're gonna do our best, and also try and find like a balance, because we don't want to sit here ages striving for utmost perfection. That would be a lot of streams on one miniature. Like, we're aiming for a pretty high standard, but like not as high of a standard as like crazy amount of hours to paint a miniature, because that could get boring watching that in a stream, I'd say. I could show you as well. I can do that later. Some bases I've been doing for a different crew. I just noticed that this brush is perhaps a little bit dirty, and I think I can really recommend using a brush soap. It can be really nice to have. I seem to have put it in a pretty smart place now, though. So let's pick up one of the other brushes and try and rescue that one later. So, how are you doing? We got yeah. So where to start? We could, I think, like, there are several ways to approach this. You can, like, I've seen some people, they just pick one area if they want to make it super detailed and super well blended and stuff. They like pick one area, paint that, pick one more area and paint that, so it doesn't overwhelm you. But I feel like that could make for us a bit of a boring stream. Like, oh, what are we doing today? We're painting an arm. Maybe it could be made fun. I don't know. But I think I'm gonna do this. I'm going to start blocking in some colors. And it's going to look a little cartoony at first, but then I think we're going to blend it together. So we have a little guide from our zenithal highlighting, which is basically just a very simple, like I didn't use my airbrush. I actually just used a rattle can, or two rattle cans, like a black and then a light gray on top. And going to follow that one as a little bit of a guide and paint Dark Reaper in the shadows. And then a warmer gray where we have the most concentrated light gray parts of the skin. And we can leave any black in the recesses to have like some extra depth. So I think we're gonna start by blocking these different areas in. And I decided for Dark Reaper because I want a gray skin tone. I want him to look like, yeah, some sort of almost undead flesh, or maybe not undead, but you know, like strange and creepy at least. And I thought could be fun to do cold shadows, so like a bluish, dark gray, and then go warmer in the lighter areas. Something you can do whilst, like, if you're overwhelmed by the amount of like muscle scales, whatever, on a miniature, like how am I gonna paint all this stuff? You can actually get away very well with only painting some areas detailed, and like try and figure out which areas are you want to pull the eye, to draw the eye. Like, and figure out like which details do I want the viewer of the miniature to look at, and you pay more attention to those areas and less to others. Like a great example is boots. Like a pretty common tip is to not worry too much about painting the boots. Like they're often not going to show, either not going to show up much, or there are going to be other details in the miniature that are much more exciting to look at. And sometimes you'll have detail that will even get partially covered up by like grass tufts or stuff like that. So I'd like to say that not every part of the miniature deserves equal attention. I'm sorry. There's no equality for plastic miniatures in that sense. Horrible of me, I know. So I escaped the camera there for a while. Some of you might have noticed that I posted pictures of the Puppet Dead Rider on Facebook, and I've actually also now taken a group shot of them. They look adorable together. Also got like a 360 video. That could be fun, so I'm thinking I'll upload that. Puppet Rider Showcase. It's been a lot of fun painting the Puppet Riders. I think I said to Kim I really wanted to paint the Puppet Riders, and she had already kind of decided or pondered that maybe I should paint them. So we had similar thoughts. Thanks a lot, Under the Construction Paints. That's very nice to hear. Welcome. How are you doing? I realized that my my speaking is a little bit, my speech is a little bit like, it almost feels like I just woke up. Sure, I'll get a hang of it. Sometimes when you've been like alone all your day, just painting and doing stuff, working, like, and haven't really interacted verbally with anyone for quite some time, and then suddenly you're gonna speak, and it just gets a little weird. Yeah. Some blocking and some shadows. It looks a little strange right now, but it's gonna make sense later. Hopefully, you've been okay. Well, that's good. I hope you're gonna be better than okay soon. But okay is okay. So what's under construction right now? What are you guys painting? I have actually got a little slow burn project. I want to paint Sparks, a survivor, and mechanical pork chop from my old Mayfang rail crew. So I made a couple of bases, and so this is my old rail golem and my old Mayfang. Actually got LED lights in these rail golems. You can put in LEDs to make it glow. It's pretty cool. But I've got these railway bases that I did ages ago for these guys. And now I want to add those gremlins to the rail crew. They didn't exist when I bought it. So I got a couple of bases on the go. Like the wooden parts of the tracks, the planks are made from what's it called, milliput, just roughly sculpted. And I used plastic card for the old ones, but these ones I just used milliput and roughly sculpted them and made some scratches in them. And then I got this plastic rod, kind of in the shape of a rail track, but from a hobby store, and glued those on there. And then with green stuff, I've sculpted these. I don't know what they're called actually. Like these metal parts that hold the tracks to the wood. And then I'm going to add some rivets to them as well, and basing material. So it's gonna be, this one's gonna be for the pork chop. It's gonna look pretty cool, I think. I really think basing is a lot of fun. Sometimes it's nice to take some extra time to make some awesome bases, but I can really understand if not everyone thinks it's awesome and super fun to do. Under construction says, on the back of some other competitions, looks like I have 24 days left to enter the Kingdom Death pinup competition, so I better get to work. I see. A pinup competition. I hope it goes well. How many days would you have preferred to have? Like, does it feel stressful? I don't really do painting competitions a lot myself. It's mostly just, I do get some painting awards and tournaments, but I'm not really chasing miniature painting competitions myself. I really hope it goes well for you. I think personally, the best thing for me with competitions is all of the inspiration you can get from seeing other people's works. I really get that it can be rewarding and fun to challenge yourself as well, of course. Pencil Collector says, nothing painting at the moment, to be honest. Assembling a Spartan Land Raider need more practice for the awesome Malifaux miniatures. They can, yeah, a lot of people think they're a little bit more of a challenge to paint than, say, 40K. Although, I guess in some ways, I'd say it's easier to paint Malifaux because you don't have 1,000 skulls and belts and details like all over. They're a little bit more less over the top, but painting 40K and Age of Sigmar faces is generally easier, certainly. Bigger and more defined details, because they're exaggerated. For the Railway Golem, no, I already have a base for the Railway Golem. I just show. What do you mean for the Railway Golem? Maybe you missed it. I showed off the Railway Golem, but I'm also making a base for the mechanical pork chop. Usually just tend to call it the Mecha Pig, but its official name is mechanical pork chop. Yeah, the railway base is, I have an old rail crew with the metal golem, and it's all completed, but I've gone back to the crew to add some of the gremlin stuff that I never did get. So I'm making some more bases for the Mecha Pig and Sparks and the Survivor. Whole lot of jewelry on a lot of 40K models, yeah, for sure. Like painting Warhammer miniatures and Malifaux miniatures, or even Middle Earth from their own other game, it's just very different experiences a lot of the time. I think there are some awesome Warhammer miniatures, but a lot of them have way too much detail going on. Like, they really got a more is more approach going on there. Like this one is pretty. It has had some important eye-grabbing details, but also lots of flat areas to just paint. Hi, Kato and Llama. How are you doing? Don't think I've seen you here before. It's always nice seeing a new face. Well, nickname. Person. Kato and Llama's been around before. Oh, smells like nickname swapping? Or maybe I just haven't been paying attention. So these lighter areas blocking in are painted with Dawnstone, whereas the darker was Dark Reaper. Pencil Klexer says, details are nice, but you don't have to go to war as a Christmas tree. Well put. Yes, that describes the issue very well. It's also, I think it also kind of detracts from the fun of painting when you got way too many details to paint. For me, at least. Like, because at some point you get so many different details begging to be painted differently that you kind of can't really spend as much attention on all of it, and it will probably just feel nicer if it was a little bit more focused. I'd say this is a pretty balanced miniature. What? I'm confused. Runway just isn't for launching planes, it's for strutting your stuff. I suppose. Yeah, I realized. I was just confused there for a while and like it took me a while to understand the joke. Yeah, they're two different words for the same thing, right? But catwalk can also be something else, I think. Okay, so I think I'm nearing getting finished with blocking in major colors quite roughly. Okay. uh, okay, so so what I'm doing now is I'm putting Dark Reaper, a dark cold gray on an area like this, and quickly cleaning the brush, and I'm putting some of the Dawnstone on there, wiping off the brush, and then I'm poking the colors to blend them together. Yes. We were speaking about different design aesthetics, I guess, for miniatures. Some companies feel like they need to put as many details as they just can on the miniature. And some of us feel like it just gets bloated with details. It can look cool, like it's a stylistic choice. It can also be really annoying to paint. So whilst doing this, we're actually not watering down our paints as much as other times because it's easier to mix if we got less diluted paint. And we're basically just blending the wet paint on the miniature itself, just mixing it. Wet blending. Ooh. Gives us some kind of smooth transitions quite quickly. Maybe I could have been a little bit more daring with the contrast between the two colors I'm mixing. But we'll go brighter later as well. What's your guys' favorite way of painting? Do you prefer wet blending or layering? Dry brushing? Zenithal contrasts? Filtering or glazing? Or a combination? Trying to build up these muscular shapes a little bit at a time. Spoiling all with null oil. Yeah, why not? It's a good one. The brightest color that I'm just working in as well is Gray Seer. Under cross action says, depends what it is. I usually go too paint heavy, get most out of Zenithal glaze. I find wet blending can be stressful because of time constraints, but really useful if it's a big uniform surface like armor plate or pipe. Good layering, dry brushing for the most of the time. Yeah. It's very reasonable. Like, different tools and techniques for different jobs and different, well, circumstances like time constraints and such. There's also people who do this with two brushes, two brush blending, and that can be useful if you find you don't have the time to clean your brush between blends. I feel like I jump between stuff even when I'm wet blending like this. I can jump into feathering and go a little back and forth. So if anyone's watching that doesn't know what the hell I'm talking about, wet blending is when you blend together two different colors on the surface of the miniature whilst they're still wet. And feathering is where you are like pulling, you only have one wet paint color on the miniature. You're pulling that paint carefully with your brush, creating a blend. Like, I can show you, like you put it here, put some paint there, and you eat your paint. It's optional. And you just like, with a somewhat damp brush, you pull it towards the color you're blending into. So any of you guys watched any of the cool fantasy series that have been released? Like, I feel like we're spoiled for fantasy right now with the Sandman and Game of Thrones, House of Dragon, and Rings of Power. I just kind of feel like there's a really fun miniature joke in there with like the king and in House of Dragons. Like when he's sad, he goes up and hobbies with his miniatures. I just find that kind of adorable. Candyland Game of Thrones. Nice. Maybe. I don't know. Should I be scared? Hi, Goslada. How are you doing? We are. I think it's going rather well. We're. I think like large areas of huge bulging muscles like these. Um, they're a challenge, but I'd say it's a pretty fun challenge. How are you doing? Made a pudding. I'm glad you had a great time. That's nice to hear. Oh, was it? Did you hold or host the Malifaux tournament, or did you like were you a regular player? What was going on? I'm like probably gonna have a lot of paint in my corner of my mouth eventually because I'm just licking the brush. Because it's just easier to lick the brush instead of cleaning it when you need it damp and clean quickly. The paint eat us. You gotta be a player. 10 runs of Malifaux, all up brow. Awesome. That's amazing. I'm glad you had a lot of fun. What did you play? Titania? I don't know if you noticed, but I'm not holding two brushes in the same hand. That's, I think I mentioned earlier, two brush blending. Uh, as a way of dealing with drying time, paint, but it can be a little bit of a challenge. Hi, McBluff! How are you doing? Welcome. We're trying to blend skin. This guy's got so much skin. Okay, I'm gonna like layer highlight some top highlights. Not saying I won't go brighter, but like put this bright highlights on there and see if we can work from there. Oh yeah, I'm actually pretty good, but like my neck and shoulders are pretty stiff. As you might not come to a great surprise that painting is not great for your body unless you use it properly. And I should actually have it a little bit higher like this. It's a little bit more straight. Also, I do jog, but I should probably start going to the gym to exercise my neck and shoulders more. Oh, don't worry. I'll be all right. I really like, I'm sorry if people hate exercise or hate that I'm suddenly talking about exercise, but I really like exercise where I can just go outside and jog for a while and then that's it. Like you don't have to go anywhere to start exercising. So just that thing where I just go outside the door and then I am exercising really helps me. Going, like traveling to a gym or like a sports center, it's not even a word. It's just a bigger hurdle, more hoops to jump through, more of a commitment. I kind of prefer jogging, but I should. I think I need to, yeah, exercise my shoulders and neck a bit more. Funnily enough, there is a new outdoors gym nearby, but it's like overrun with children. Hooligans, I tell you. Like they're like, oh, some new playground, and it's been like occupied almost every waking hour. Like little kids scaring away adults from the gym. Hi, kitty. Hey, kitty cat. Cat, indeed. I think you should have seen her tail and maybe her whiskers. Rowing machine. I do quite like rowing machines. Rowing is strangely nice. It is very easy to just fall off the habit, and then it can be a bit of a challenge to start again. if anyone's watching this and not exercising at all, like don't feel bad. I'm just really no health nut or sports geek. I just getting old. My main interest is that my body will hurt less. Oh, did you Rotten Harvest 2022 models? I should go look at that. Do we have a link? Eating paint. This paint was not very nice, not tasty, not horrible either. Could use the water pot more. Oh, the Alt Justice set. Yeah, I love those. Do love those. Like I'm a huge Grim Fandango fan, so I know not everything Dia de los Muertos, or probably butchering that, is Grim Fandango, but they felt kind of Grim Fandango to me. Yeah. Very cool Day of the Dead theme. Good time to be a Guild and Arcanist player. Alt Justice, Alt Hoffman, and new Arcanist Master released. Say, Gislana, was Damien present at the tournament? I held a tournament recently and actually also played in it, and because I was like, hey, I want to play in a tournament, I guess I'll make one. So I was playing TO. We had like spoken about like if there would have been need for like an impartial judge. We had that started, but there was no need, and it was a lot of fun. Also, gifted away the Hidden Allegiances box I painted on stream as like a prize for the guy who came first. Mikael Borg came first. He was one of the members of our team in Six Nations, and it's also been shared. His work has also been shared by Weird a few times, or at least once, I know. Incredible painter and very good gamer as well. Damien Ravencroft dominated the Invitational. Oopsie. Damien the bad boy. Damien Ravencroft. Is that like the most? Is that more goth than Dorian? Or not? Ravencroft. It's so goth, it's crazy, almost. Last thing is more goth than Dorian, okay. But Damien Ravencroft, like, taste the name. It's extremely goth. Nothing is more goth than Dorian. Okay, I'll trust you. I'll trust you in that. You can be the judge on this one. Yeah, so I wonder how much of, like, was it mostly Dorian 2 or was it also Dorian 1? Was it like a mix? Because I know people have been like, oh, really terrified of Dorian 2. It's got some sort of title I don't recall off the top of my head. Dorian Bananas. Probably. Damien, right? Damien Dorian, Damien Dorian, Damien Dorian. God. Damien Unbound. Do you get to play Damien yourself? Or is it like traumatic? You don't want to talk about it? We didn't include any of that in our tournament. Last tournaments in Sweden have actually been won by wrestler players. I think it's 3 or 4 tournaments in a row. We had a wrestler come first. I mentioned Bori, and our friend Marcus came second with Guild, and I popped in at third place with Arcanists. Playing Hoffman, so it's not too different from my Guild ventures. Oh, cool. Was it a scary experience? For 6, yeah, it's not too bad. In our tournament, I faced Boyd the first game and lost by a point to his Yanlo 2. And then next game, I'm playing a guy who's like, oh, I play wrestlers. Oh, what monster are you declaring? Yanlo. Oh, okay. But then I'd warmed up, so. And then the third game, my opponent was like, I declare Resurrectionist. I was like, really? But it wasn't Yanlu that once. That was Jackdaw too instead. Would have been funny if I faced Yanlu 2-3 times. You can hear it in my voice, right? Okay, that's cool. That's cool. You have any tips and tricks against him? Feel free to share. Although I completely understand if you cannot be bothered. You are not required to answer all my questions. Only some. Actually, not any, but it felt right to say that. Damien hates being stunned. Okay, just bring my most stunning stuff. Incidentally, Hoffman is kind of decent at getting stunned at. Hoffman and Joss. If only I'd been painting Joss. Oh, wait. I am painting Joss. I love that Hoffman's totem can put out stun with this tiny little gun. Can happen. Can happen. Yeah. That is really rough. It's really obnoxious. Right. Yeah. So, like, if you hit something, so let's say you got like an RF effect stun, that works. Guess there might not be loads of those out there. Incidentally, Porphyrion / Jaws has got one, but he needs to hit someone nearby then. So that could be a problem. Yeah, because it strips the suits off the dual total and not just like your cards, right? Nasty business. Yeah, it gives out injured and stunned. That's good. Making Damien study the third law. What is stunning law? Yeah, it is very awkward. Eating the spells. I have a little conundrum. Like I've got all the Arcanist Masters until Damien. Then I kind of made some stupid vow that I'm not gonna buy any more Malifaux Masters for painting all the stuff I got. But we'll see about that. It is a foolish vow. I also made the vow that I wouldn't that I would paint more miniatures for myself than I bought for myself this year. And so far I've bought more. No, actually even said I think there are different versions of this vow. I have said I was gonna paint as much as I bought, but I've also said I'm gonna paint twice the amount I bought. So far I bought a little bit more than I painted. Yeah. Yeah. But I'm closing in. That's cool, right? Miniature painters and their foolish vows. What foolish vows have you guys made? Or any successful ones? That's fair game to talk about, I guess, too. You want to make us all feel bad and stuff? Oh, the Iron Scorpius. Nice. So was it like all the Neverborn Masters you played? It's a fun challenge. Maybe I should do that sometime. Did you find it difficult to do the Iron Scorpius? Like, did it melt your brain? I think it would melt my brain. I'm not sure my brain would be up for that. Maybe if I didn't jump factions so much, I would do it. Oh, cool. See, I only ever played in one tournament over here where you could hire masters. It's generally not allowed. But I did have that tournament where I played a Molly Kirai thing, which was a lot of fun and kind of crazy. Mm. Yeah. I think, yeah, because like a 3 games tournament, different masters every game, would that be an Iron Scorpius? Or does it have to be 5 games or more? Yeah, that makes sense. Although I think there are potential issues with playing advanced format, like suddenly people might not want to come because they might ban their toys. And like it kind of favors people having access to a lot of keywords, I guess. So a lot of people might find it becomes quite expensive, I'm thinking. At least perceive it as expensive to get like to not get left behind at a disadvantage. I don't know. Only pair after you declare lead. Right. I get it. Thank you. Yeah, so like, and I'm guessing you can't, like, if I declare Hoffman, you cannot ban augmented, but you could ban performer, right? I have obviously not read the Gaining Grounds document properly. now I'm out of camera again. Sorry. Yeah, it's a good format. Thank you for enlightening me. I like it. So like opponent declares my thing, you go like no augmented, please. Is ban format becoming a new norm in the US? Or does it like vary? No worries, Kim. Scorpius with Damien. Oh, is that a nice nasty combo? Does Damien bring an Iron Scorpius? Okay. Right, right. You can't do Y unless X, and then you can't do X. Yes, pretty cool. / rough. / very uncool. Ink fingers and C-Slit Advanced. Nice. Right. Ouch. It's a combo. Welcome back. Gotta paint these cute fingers. Slowly but surely, kind of. Getting these muscles painted. Slowly but somewhat surely, I guess. At least. And when we are done with Porphyrion, I'm thinking we'll paint the adorable Stiltskin, the crew's totem. I like that nervous little bugger. It's exciting with a lot of new stuff coming. There's so many Malifaux monsters now. It's a real smorgasbord, to use a Swedish word. International Swedish word. It's really strange to hear people use the word smorgasbord. I kind of like these sausagey fingers. Pretty fun to paint. Guys just got big fingers. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Not at all. Just fun to paint though. Okay, so let's focus a bit on the other hand. So what are you painting next, Gonzalo? Ride the Dabblers. That is exciting. They're really fun miniatures. Lucius. Yeah, Lucius is really cool. It's a very fun character. Do have a little bit of a soft spot for that guy, but I don't play him myself. Just so many characters to play. I'm still really enjoying Hoffman, but I'm really keen to try Mei Feng too as well. Just got half of the witness keyword primed already for some paint. Need to get some stuff on the bases of the rest of them before getting some primer. Nice. Witness. Scary, scary witnesses. Is this when we try and add one more brighter highlight to some places maybe? Because I did say that I would probably not spend as much time on every part of the miniature, because we could be stuck here painting skin for quite some time. And after a while, it just gets more interesting to paint and show off their miniature, I think. Nice thing with this miniature is that he's got a mask. You don't have to paint his face. Oh, wait. The mask has 3 faces. Oh, well. Nah, painting faces is fun. I like it. That's not the color I was looking for. There we go. There's the one. Vallejo off-white. Oh, Euripides is cool. I think I still haven't faced Euripides, actually. It's got a very cool model. I think maybe I mentioned before you got here that I'm looking to try and get Spark's mechanical port shop and the Survivor painted. Should be fun. It's from my fan crew. Hello, kitty cat. So I'm going up to off-white because I want a pretty shiny reflective skin. I want it to be pretty bright and full of contrast. But I don't want to overdo it with these highlights. Try and find like a balance. Where not everything is hit by and reflecting the same amount of light. If I found myself in a faction in Malifaux, what faction would I be? Oh. I think I maybe find myself being an arcanist, seeing as I am very keen to let unique people, live their lives and not have to hide themselves. So like, I mean, it's pretty easy to draw parallels between the hunt for witches and arcanists and the hunt for like other minorities. So probably Arcanists. What about you? Hello again, McLove. And you other people in the chat can certainly feel free to answer those questions as well. It's a fun question. Because I basically said Arcanist because political reasons. Unlike basic human rights. I know Arcanists aren't all that great either. It's a fun thing with Malifaux, like everything is tainted except Molly. Molly is like the best. She's wonderful. Some might say tainted by like being undead. There's another minority we can fight for. The living impaired. Outcasts or explorers? Yeah. Cool. Yeah, that is what Reva does, for sure. Smash and Grab says I'm clearly a union person, so Arcanist here. Guslado Arcanist as well. Bunch of terrorists. I imagine people would have been surprised if I said guild. That's probably the most worrying answer. Like, oh, I'd definitely be guild because, like, we need order. And someone in the right. I don't know. Yeah, like it's certainly easy to maybe not empathize with like bloodthirsty murderers, but and like nightmares, but natives fighting for their land and their freedom is very easy to empathize with. also difficult to answer this question if you've never born. Okay, that pun didn't quite pan out. There was a friend who did some practice games with gremlins and then decided to hop onto Neverborn instead. So I was like, oh, did you lose so badly you wished you were Neverborn? Then I felt evil and mean. I'm very evil. Union, says Defective Dice. We have a lot of Union sympathizers in here. Hope there's not going to be a guild roundup. It is amazing to have a miniatures game where you can play the Union. It's really funny. And Union Busters, I guess. It's worrying when someone asks, which Malifaux monster would you be? And someone answers, Anya. Actually, there are a lot of worrying answers there. Someone else is lynched there. Yeah, I don't know, man. Yeah, Seamus did come to mind. Quite a lot of worrying answers. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Thank you. That's really nice to hear. Thanks, Defective. How are you doing? Welcome to the stream. Miniature painting stream / union meeting. I actually don't remember if he has nipples in the artwork, but I gave him nipples. Porphyrion has the right to wear nipples. Slaughter says, oh, Detective says, I'm good, thank you. How are you? I'm good. I'm good. Yeah, hey, Kitty. Yeah, I'm good. I'm a little stiff as all, but otherwise good. Rosato says, which of the new monsters coming out are you most looking forward to? That video dropped while I was in the airport waiting to fly to Nova Open, so I was looking over screen grabs of the artwork while on the flight and comparing them to minis we saw in the display case at Gen Con. Nice, that's really exciting. That sounds like a lovely thing to do at a flight. All that excitement. Well, I'm really interested in the guy with the cat, actually. Don't remember his name off the top of my head. Hi, Spiredine. And yes, McBluff. Cat. I'm thinking it's the Guildmaster. That cat just looks fierce. Like, it just really captures the way how some cats kind of look like they feel like they're the shit. They're the most badass creature in the neighborhood, and I love the expression on that cat. And the dude looks cool too. Harold has a cat, yeah. Harold Toe. There's a cat running beside him in one of the artworks, and in the other, it's sitting on his shoulder, I think. So Harold has a cat, indeed. So just that thing that he has this awesome cat, and they really look like they're off to adventures together. Like, just love it. Pinning right out of the frame. Sorry. Thank you for telling me. It is easier than you might think to just leave the frame. How are you doing, Spiredine? Thierry, yeah, Thierry, I like that piece of artwork. I'm guessing she is Outcast. Maybe Outcast Explorer. Could also be that Gremlin family is Bayou Explorer. I just love that. It's hilarious. Like, what's the new Biomaster? Oh, it's a family. It's a whole bloody family. Castora looks cool. Edgy, cool. And Lean, is that her name? Seems to have some really charming followers. Like, is that a sloth? WWDITS. Widow Weaver dancing in the storm. That's what it means, right? I should know what we do in the shadows. I've never seen it abbreviated before, actually. But I can see it. Right, there's another season of that I haven't seen yet. Guess we got swamped in fantasy series. And I didn't make the time for that yet. I actually didn't think season 3 of What We Do in the Shadows was quite as strong as the others. It was still pretty funny, though. I adore Nandar. Yeah. Guillermo, why would you do such a thing? It's hilarious. Okay, so I just hopped over to the trousers because, you know, yeah, I loved Sandman. I'm really happy with how they realized it, adapted it. It was so much fun. I have actually not seen the 2 bonus episodes yet. We are gonna do that sometime soon. I have read them though. Actually, don't have the cat thing right in very fresh memory. I was actually pretty annoyed with the latest Game of Thrones episode. I was like, what? This dude's got some. It's just flipping severes all the time. Rolling sixes all the time. It was strange. So I'm thinking black stripes here. It's kind of the plan before too. Have black stripes. Together with these burgundy ones. The Calliope thing is still kind of fresh in my memory from the audio audio drama version of Sandman, which is really good too. Okay, so he toppled over. Oopsie. Hmm. We'll do like a fat highlight or blocky highlight of Dark Reaper, the black parts. I'm gonna leave this as a highlight. Blend together with a little bit of black towards the edges. And go darken that back up a little bit. I was actually a little underwhelmed by Gwendolyn Christie as Lucifer, though. I was kind of excited to see that, and then I didn't think her acting was all that. Like, there was no oomph. There's no, like, intensity in it, in my opinion. I don't know. Feel free to disagree. Just thought it was a kind of tame performance. You disagree? I just thought her acting was kind of timid. Like, I wanted to like it, but I didn't. Angelic, sure. I thought she came across as a bit bland. I'm glad others liked it though. I liked a lot of the costume very well though. You could think they kind of downplayed the DC part in the TV series though, which I really don't mind. I'm actually kind of like Sandman existing separately from the superheroes. I don't really, doesn't really add anything for me. But yeah, they're two very broody boys. Very broody boys. It would be funny. You do paint a funny picture. I paint a funny miniature. As far as I know, John Constantine is from first made its appearance in Swamp Thing, and then 2 years after that, Sandman and Hellblazer came out. I think Sandman and Hellblazer are both from 1988 or something. Something like that. I think Constantine is not a Neil Gaiman character originally, but maybe that's. Feel free to prove me wrong. And maybe that's kind of like oversimplifying things since he's in Hellblazer and Sandman, but I think the Sandman stuff is kind of a guest thing. I really don't mind Constantine being in there, but I don't think I would have liked Batman to appear, for instance. Yeah. Yeah, I actually haven't read any of the Hellblazer stuff, but maybe I should. I don't know. Or maybe I've read like a tiny bit. I don't remember. It's just mostly been in my peripheral vision, sort of. I remember that I made the burgundy fabric look a little rough, so I should probably do that with the black fabric too. Tom Ellis version of Lucifer. Which one was that? I thought Tilda Swinton would have been amazing. Unfortunately, don't think Gwendolyn Christie Wright quite reached that height. But the series Lucifer. Okay. Yeah, never thought that seemed very good. She is, yeah. Certainly. I remember her being a very cool Gabriel in the Constantine movie. Yes, Kitty? Ow. Oops, escaped the camera again. Can I blame the cat? Nah, it's unfair, I think. Thank you. Charles Dance, I really don't follow. I don't know who Charles Dance is. Or is it Charles S. Dance? No idea. Let's quickly paint the wood here. I think we should probably not spend ages on this wood because it will probably not show a lot. Oh, right. It's a good character. Or that's a good actor, I meant to say. I like that actor. Still nice to get a good actor, even if it's only one episode. Better than getting a bad actor for that temporary character. Being Captain Obvious here again. Yeah, for sure. Quite an ensemble. Yes, hi Kitty. You shall get the rest of your food soon enough. For some reason, I think these heads are kind of difficult to paint. I mean, I guess they're shaped a little weirdly, so it's not that strange. Them being parts of a mask and all. Favorite episode was the way gives the guy eternal life. Yeah, it's good. I like that. Is that the same episode that? Is that the one, The Sound of Our Wings? Because I really like the death episode. Yeah, I think I'm going to give them glowy eyes. Though what color? Orange? Maybe? Yeah, it's perhaps my favorite episode too. Yeah, the guy who plays John D is really good too. A lot of good actors, and we get to see yeah, lots of good actors. Hey, where'd the silver paint go? Magenta? Hmm. Tricky. So Spiridine says magenta. You other people got like, what do you think? Should it be magenta ice? Or orange? Something else? Blue for the Union. I kind of feel like the rest of the model is kind of cold. Other than, well, we got bronze and magenta could work. Orange could work. Also, they do upload blue for the Union as a like way of reasoning. I think yeah, maybe I guess that will work too. Let's try magenta. So this is Warlord Purple from Vallejo. Maybe named after the old Citadel paint. Warlock Purple? I don't know. Yes, Kitty, you'll get food soon enough. So I painted the eyes Warlord Purple and pitting thin down Warlord Purple on like the, well, I'm trying to paint on the lower part of the brows. And on the cheeks. And that should be it because the light should not, well, this side of the nose, but otherwise the light shouldn't really reach anything else, I think. Well, I guess on the rest of the miniature it should. Now this turned out a little bit more colorful than I first imagined though, with the magenta. But that's fun. painting some thin down magenta onto these areas, making for some cool OSL. Shouldn't reach that far up. Sometimes you can forgive some stuff just because it looks cool though. Okay, then we want to make it brighter towards the center of the eye. Mix in some white paint into the magenta and make little dots. In the middle of the eyes. And keep to the screen. Yes, kitty. Yeah, kitty, but why? Where did you put the completely white paint? Where did you? There we go. I think blue would have worked too, but magenta won the vote, so. Okay, so now a dot of pure white and try and hit the middle of the last dot of bright paint. I think I covered it up a little bit there. I can try and remedy that. Blaming the guild is fair. They're to blame for a lot of things, so. not a bad tactic. Almost done, I think. Yeah, you got me to paint pinkish. You have often made suggestions of pink or polka dots, and I have politely declined. But now you got me to paint pinkish. Hi, Honarius. Nice seeing you here. Yeah, I've been in a weird place for ages. Been playing this game for ages, haven't we? How are you doing? No idea who you are because nicknames and stuff, but we're having fun painting Nightmare Jaws? Nightmare Hoffman box? Just scraping the paint off these joints. In preparation of glue. Oh, so you just back from the break? Hope the break did you good. Good enough. Tyler Hill. Yeah, I do recognize that. Nice seeing you on the stream. Are you having fun with the hobby now that you're back? Like, oh, the return of Lilith. Well, yeah, that's the big question. Like, will she return or not? Maybe, maybe not. Who knows? I used to play Lilith as well. Actually, I played all the Dead Man's Hand Masters. Oopsie. That is the question. So we Porphyrion's got his mask. Look at this guy. That is a good theory, defective dice. I'm into that. Malifaux 4th edition marks the return of Lilith. So what do we think? Looks pretty cool, right? Probably neaten this guy up for ages, and he's still... I wouldn't be able to get it pristine exactly, but hey, there's a joke in there somewhere. Still wouldn't be able to bring him home to the family or something. Thanks. Oh, yeah, that sucks. Airbrushes can be a handful. Yeah, me too. Like, NMM is great, and it's a really good way to challenge yourself and to flex, I guess, and look awesome. But there's something about true metallics as well, especially in movement. Like on a picture, sure, NMM will always win out, I'd say. It's done well, but when you see it like moving, yeah, really like true metallics. Oh yeah, the piles of shame. Or heaps of possibilities. Yeah, I've got a huge one too. You don't like airbrushing? Is it like it can be difficult to get the hang of, and you can spend a lot of time cleaning the brush and such. I'm actually like I might airbrush on the stream sometime, but I haven't used it like enough that I'm still I've used it a bunch, but like I'm still I might get nervous that I'd end up clogging it on stream and it would be just a rough time, you know? Yeah, you can do some really impressive true metallics too. Oh, okay. Yeah, it could be it. Maybe if you could borrow a compressor off someone, maybe that could be nice to like borrow one, or to bring your airbrush to somebody else's place, somebody who's like an airbrush wizard, and they can like show you the ropes or something. Yeah, it could be the PSI. Are you using like airbrush paints, or are you thinning other paints to use in the airbrush? Because that could be something as well. We're gonna, yeah, I guess kind of soon wrap this stream up, and we are then going to paint Stiltskin, probably the totem for the crew next time, I think. And think about what kind of base we want. I'm thinking like rocks, maybe gravestones, and like autumn leaves. Very Elden Ring would look very cool. Kind of like how I did the Pale Puppet Rider. No, Dead Puppet Rider base. I think I'd like that. Thanks a lot, McBluff. It's really nice to hear. Opponents will be scared seeing this guy coming towards them, right? I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that's my thinking too. And some yellow leaves could tie nicely into the light contrast with the magenta, or maybe some orange leaves to tie into the rust. Maybe I should do a portion of a stream where we just do basing stuff. Could be fun. What do you guys think? Yeah, me too. Basing is a lot of fun. In my opinion. Well, maybe. I mean, the model has very cold skin, though, so it's not all warm. Hmm. I think maybe cold stone and warm, or like I really like yellow leaves. It's that Elden Ring thing, you know. That's all right. I always appreciate getting advice, even if I don't follow it. Like I will follow it sometimes, and other times it will help me in my thought process, reaching a different goal. Like it might not be a bad idea; it might be great advice. Just sometimes there are several good answers to a question, I find. Maybe not when that question is whether the earth is flat or not, but you know, sometimes. I am a real sucker for the autumn look. Yeah, I am. Always have been. pretty excited about autumn leaves showing up soon. There's a kid raging outside, like really angry kid. I don't know if you can hear, but that kid is fed up with the bullshit, you know? I'm re-highlighting these parts I've tinted purple because like OSL adds light, so I don't want it to look darker. I cannot hear what the kid is saying either. Can't even hear what language. There's a or several kids in the neighborhood that screams very, very loudly. Sometimes it's like, I guess I'm closing the window because that kid's got some stuff going on. Well, yeah, Magenta was pretty satisfying, right? I like it. The man go for that. Yes. I love that there are so many creepy children in Malifaux. Oh god. Creepy children. Damn, that kid's angry. Kim, you there? Like maybe it's time to wrap up. Maybe Waldo's up to something. Not that I mind sitting here painting, it's great. Yeah, I think the kid has the woe keyword for sure. I like me some woes, but maybe not in real life. Kids gotta be kids. Something. Yeah, see you in the future. Have a good one. That's quite all right. I'm not in a hurry to go anywhere. It's just a little bit unusual. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Those are my socials. I'll see you guys in a couple of weeks, or on the forums or social medias elsewhere. But in a couple of weeks, I'll see you guys again and play weird. So that's me and Porphyrion signing out. Bye-bye.